Hey guys, this movie is about multiplying and dividing in scientific notation. I'm going to show you how to do it by hand. That's what it was originally designed for. And then I'm going to show you guys how to use your calculators. Okay, so if you have a Texas Instrument calculator, there's two important keys. One is the EE key, second x raised to the negative one. And then also there's the caret key. There's two different ways of putting it in your calculator. Both work fine. It's all depending upon the user. The EE key is the faster way. Um, I learned a caret key, which is a little longer, but it works just as good. All right, so let's get started here. Um, now, the thing with multiplying and dividing, it's a math problem in chemistry, so significant figures must be applied. So you have to use the significant figures rule. Okay, now, very simple here. When you multiply a number in scientific notation, you add the exponents. Okay, and when you divide, you subtract the exponents. This is more or less a review for you guys. Okay, this is nothing new. This is a review. Okay, so we have these numbers here. Let's take a look. Okay, you have your coefficient and your exponent. Coefficient and your exponent. All right, this number has one sig fig. This has one, so our answer should have one sig fig. Okay, so let's take a look at one at a time and how to set it up right. Okay, so 3, what we're going to do is we're going to first do the multiplication of the coefficients. So we're going to do, oops, 3 times 2. Okay, that's our first part. Then we're going to have times 10, and you add the exponents when you multiply. So 4 plus 2. 4 plus 2. Okay. Now what you get with this is very simple. You're going to get 3 times 2 is 6 times 10 to the 6th. Simple. 1 sig fig, okay? Because the lowest number of sig figs up here is 1. They both have 1. Now this number down here, same thing, 2.1 times 4. Okay, so let's write it out first. 2.1 times 4. And then we add the exponents, 3 plus 2. Okay. So 2.1 times 4, obviously 8.4 times 10 to the 5th. Okay, let's look at dividing here. Now you have your one number here and your second number here. You're going to divide the two. Okay, so you have 3 times 10 to the 5th, 6 times 10 to the 2nd. So what you're going to do is you're going to divide it. Let's get the pen. Okay. All right, so we're going to have 3.0 divided by 6.0 times 10 raised to 5 minus 2. Okay. Now 3 divided by 6 is 0.5. It's a half. Times 10. 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay. But we're not done yet. This number is not really into scientific notation, so we have to move the decimal over one here. Okay, so that's going to equal 5.0 times 10 to the 2nd. So if we move the decimal to the right, okay, you're making your number get larger, therefore you have to make your exponent smaller. Okay, little conversion. Now the next one is 9.0 times 10 to the 6 divided by 3 times 10 raised to the minus 2. Okay, so what we're going to do is here, we're going to do 9.0 divided by 3 times 10 raised to the 6 minus a negative 2. Okay, you always subtract, but this turns out to be a negative number. So it's going to be an addition problem, actually. So this is going to equal 6 plus 2. Two negatives make a positive. Okay. So for this number here, we are going to get 3 times 10 raised to the 8. All right. Now let's look at how to plug it into a calculator. Okay, using your calculator to input using the EE key. So here's our example. Okay. Um, what you're going to do is begin by clearing any numbers in your calculator. Hit the number 6 key. Okay. Then immediately after, hit second key. Okay. Then hit the X raised to the -1 key. This is the designation for the EE key. Then hit the number 2, which is your exponent. Then hit your equals key. And boom. Into your calculator, you will get this number. And you don't need parentheses because it's already in a form. Now, there is another way to do it. Okay. This is the way I did it using graphing calculators. Okay, I had one. Some graphing calculators have a function where it automatically puts it into where there's a open parenthesis. I just did this a lot, something we were taught back in the day, but really quick, similar. You're putting a number in scientific notation. So if you use the caret key, you can do this too. So if you're a graphing calculator and you like doing this, begin by clearing any numbers, hit the left parenthesis key. Okay, you got to use parentheses in this case. Hit the number 6 key, the X key, caret key. Okay, the X key means multiply. The caret key puts it up in an exponent form. Then the number 2 key, which is your exponent. And finally hit the right parenthesis key. Okay, so then your number is going to be in parentheses. So you then there can use this number and put a multiply sign or division sign and then enter the next number. Okay, something you might want to try. Okay. Okay, so let's have you guys practice this doing some multiplying with scientific notation using a calculator. Okay, so look at these two numbers here. Pause the video, practice this, type it in, write it down in your notebook. Now, after you did it, you should get these two numbers here, 2.5 times 10 to the 8th, 2 sig figs, and this number 1.3 times 10 to the 9th, 2 sig figs. Okay. Now, let's practice dividing in scientific notation. So here's two numbers. Write them down in your notebook, pause the video, calculate their answer. Okay, now for your answers, check in your answers. The first number is 1.69 times 10 raised to the -1, has 3 sig figs. And the bottom one here has 1.8 times 10 to the 8th. It has 2 sig figs because this number has 2 sig figs as the lowest. All right, that's scientific notation. It's supposed to be a review. It's not supposed to be anything painful or hard. It's just something we're going to be using. All right, guys, it's just another tool to add to your toolbox for solving scientific problems. All right, talk to you later.